What's up, homies? Today we're going to delve into some upcoming medieval slashers, all of which I'm super excited to play the full releases. But first, let's talk about what medieval combat has looked like in video games for years. We're talking clunky parries, weightless swings, and swordplay that feels more like a clumsy dance than a deadly duel. We've all played the big ones like Chivalry, Mordhau, and For Honor, learning their systems and finding their limits. But what if those limits were about to be completely broken? Forget everything you know. The age of floaty sword fighting is coming to an end. A group of new developers is throwing out the old rulebook, and they're obsessed with one thing: finally capturing the brutal, tactical reality of steel on steel. Get ready for 5 upcoming games that are about to change everything. With hyper-realistic physics, bone-crunching mechanics, and combat so visceral you'll actually feel every blow. These aren't just copycats, they're revolutionary steps forward, each forging a new path on future medieval warfare. Ready to check out the 5 games that are set to change it all? Kicking off our list at number 5, we have Renown. Imagine taking the slick, skill-based combat of a game like Mordhau, smashing it headfirst into the brutal survival sandbox of Rust. That's Renown, in a nutshell. Developed by RDBK Studios, this game drops you into a persistent world where every duel has a purpose. The heart and soul of Renown is its combat. Slasher veterans will feel right at home with its directional attacks and parries, but there's an extra layer of deadly precision here. The developers have been relentlessly focused on making the combat feel fair and responsive, with server-side hit detection to eliminate those frustrating moments where a parry looks correct on your screen but fails you anyway. But where Renown really carves its own path is by tying that combat to a world where survival and conquest are everything. You gather resources, build everything from a tiny shack to a massive castle, and then defend it against other players in huge sieges. This isn't just a game of instant matches, it's a living world where your skill with a blade has real lasting consequences. After running several open demos and building a community, the team at RDBK Studios is building the game in Unreal Engine and is aiming for an early access launch in the third quarter of 2025. Next up is a title that's not just about the fight, but the life of the fighter. Let's talk about Chronicles Medieval, a massive sandbox RPG from a brand new studio called Raw Power Games, and when I say new, I should mention it's stacked with veteran talent from titans like Witcher 3, Cyberpunk, and Assassin's Creed. Set in 14th and 15th century Europe, this game aims to be the ultimate rags to riches warrior story. So what makes this a potential game changer? It's all about the scope. Its wild, multi-layered approach to conflict. The game drops you into a huge, handcrafted world as a nobody, and your path is your own. You can become a wandering sellsword, ruthless bandit, or climb the ranks of a king's army. But here, combat is the engine driving your story. It's designed with 3 distinct layers. Think of it like this. First, you're a general positioning your troops before the battle even starts. Then, you zoom into the captain layer, leading your units from a third-person view like something out of Mount and Blade. Finally, you're in the combat layer, fighting for your own life in the mud. The developers at Raw Power Games are using Unreal Engine 5 plus their own proprietary Asgard tech to handle these massive battles. With a planned early access release in 2026, Chronicles Medieval is shaping up to be a game where you don't just win battles, but you write history. At number 3, the game that doesn't just want to redefine the rules, it wants to light them on fire. Half-Sword? This isn't just a game, it's a full-blown physics-based medieval combat simulator poised to set a new standard for realism. Developed by the small team at Half-Sword Games, this Unreal Engine title throws traditional game mechanics out the window. There's no attack button, you swing your mouse, you swing your sword. You move, it moves. It's that direct, that intuitive, and that terrifying. The entire system is governed by physics, meaning every clash, every stagger, and every gruesome kill is a unique, unscripted event. The game's name comes from its signature mechanic, half-swording. By changing your grip on the fly, you can hold the blade of your longsword, giving a reach for incredible precision. This is a historically accurate technique that was crucial for fighting armored opponents, letting you grapple, control their weapon, and deliver a perfect thrust into a vulnerable gap in their plate mail. Set in 15th century, Half-Sword is obsessed with historical accuracy. And with a free demo already available, it's the boldest experiment on this list. An early access release is planned for late 2025. It's not just redefining a genre, it's building a time machine. And now at my number 2 spot is a brutal multiplayer slasher that blends team-based PvP with cooperative dungeon crawling. All set within a dark, corrupted world, Ad Mortem. In this game, developed by Head-On Studios in Unreal Engine 5, you are a vessel, an undying warrior, trapped in a perpetual cycle of death and rebirth, fighting for one of two warring factions. The experience is built around a combat system described as easy to learn but rewarding to master, playable in both first and third person view. The game features objective-based 5v5 ranked matches with skill-based matchmaking to ensure fair fights, alongside a more chaotic 10v10 mode. But it's not just about fighting other players. Ad Mortem introduces a co-op mode where you and up to 4 other players can descend into dungeons to fight monsters, gather loot, and empower your warrior, blending the thrill of competitive combat with narrative-driven adventures. While a full release date has yet to be announced, development of the game continues. Prepare yourselves, warriors, because my number 1 pick is a game so epic, it threatens to redefine the medieval combat genre. Get ready for Fiefdom, a sprawling multiplayer slasher from the visionaries at White Tower Games. This isn't just a game, it's a living, breathing medieval battlefield where you won't just witness history, you'll forge it. Fiefdom is where the raw power of cold steel meets the unpredictable chaos of high fantasy. Imagine 100 players duking it out on a single colossal battlefield. Knights in shining armor clash with sorcerers flinging bolts of pure arcane energy. And that's not all. The carnage extends to the high seas, with full-scale naval combat. That's right, ships become battering rams and floating fortresses, transporting troops and laying siege to coastal strongholds. Every battle in Fiefdom's main battleground mode is a chapter in a larger story. The dynamic world reacts to your actions. When a decisive battle and your kingdom rises, falter and it crumbles. You're not just fighting for a victory screen, you're fighting to shift the balance of power across the entire world, and thanks to the incredible power of Unreal Engine, every sword strike, every spell, and every splintering ship will look and feel breathtakingly real. Whether you prefer the grand spectacle of a 100-player skirmish or the calculated intensity of a smaller fight, Fiefdom has you covered. For those who crave intense, focused action, the Assault mode lets up to 64 players vie for territory in a brutal tug-of-war. And for the esports titans among you, the competitive 5v5 matches offer a chance to prove your skill amongst the best. The hype is real, and the wait is almost over. White Tower Games is aiming for an alpha this September, with a full release set for 2026. Get ready to pick your faction, sharpen your blades, and become a legend in a world where your victories truly write history.
Many will leave their marks, most will fade. May their names find their way to the testament of the world.
If you're looking to play these upcoming medieval titles, you'll find most of them on PC, some extending to consoles. Renown, Half-Sword, and Ad Mortem are all primarily PC games, with the latter two also supporting macOS and Linux. Chronicles Medieval is planning a PC launch on Steam in 2026 before heading to consoles. The only game with a confirmed multi-platform release at launch is Fiefdom, which is set to release on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox. So there you have it, from the survival sandbox of Renown, the strategic depth of Chronicles Medieval, revolutionary physics of Half-Sword, team-based brawls of Ad Mortem, and the massive sieges of Fiefdom. Each of these games is pushing boundaries in its own way, proving that the age of medieval combat innovation is just getting started. Now I have to turn it over to you. Which of these titles are you most hyped for? Are you ready to command armies, or does the pure stimulation of Half-Sword have you ready for the tournament? Let us know down in the comments, and hey, if you enjoyed this look at the future of combat, hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one.